All right, guys, what's going on? Blind Gamer 102 here. Another vlog thing that I've kind of been more fond of doing nowadays. Um, this one I'm gonna kind of go over a few things. Um, the main thing that I want to go over with you guys today is commentary in video games, like more so like the esports side of commentary. Like Um, people think that commentary is very, very important, and I agree. If, as a matter of fact, for the blind, I think commentary is probably the most important. If just because it's when you can't see the screen or when you can't see what's going on, like you can hear it for sure, but in like a tournament setting, like on a stream, like if it's broadcasted through Twitch, for example, or even live streamed on YouTube or whatnot, like it's one of those things where you have to kind of get an idea of what's going on the screen, because it's not like how myself or Sightless Combat or other blind or very low vision players play the game. We have to turn off the music, we got to turn off ambiance, we got to turn up the HUD meter volume, and these are things that we can't do in certain games, right? So when you're watching a game on Twitch, let's just put this in perspective here. When you're watching a game on Twitch, you can kind of see what's going on. If you have vision, you can see what's going on. You can kind of make an assumption yourself. Like if it's a fighting game, for example, like Street Fighter, you're like, oh man, that guy really did like a good low jab into super, or a low jab into combo, or short, crouching short into jab, and blah blah blah. And it's cool, and you guys can interpret that for yourselves. Well, in our case, like in Sightless Combat or myself, like our case, we don't know like what all the normals are that are being displayed on the screen. So if we walk up with Kim Woo, for example, and I do a crouching jab here, I know it's a crouching jab because I'm actively doing it. However, when I watch or versus listen to something on a screen, I'm not going to know that Kim Woo walked up and did a jab. Yeah, I can hear she walked up and did a something, but if you listen to this, so crouching jab to crouching medium punch, like you can hear that now because there's no music, there's no the sounds are kind of turned up in my headset. But on Twitch, those sounds kind of get muddled out because it's based off their sound system, to what the game audio is going to go through, how much music, how much background noise, can you hear the audience, can you hear the commentators. People are talking over that, and they're explaining stuff, and all the ambiance or background noise, even in the venue or whatnot. So what triggered this for me was listening to NEC's top 4 of the commentary. I went back on YouTube and I listened to the commentators for that. And no disrespect to any commentator, I'm just more of generalizing this whole ordeal. But when I was listening to the top 4, I did not feel as if I understood what was going on in the game. And I played King of Fighters not well, and I don't even think I could play it very well due to the execution and the sound quality or whatever, but who knows, that might be addressed, I don't know. But I guess my point being is that the commentators sounded like they were in a library. Like they sounded like they were whispering, they were low talking, they sounded very monotone, and it was kind of like, oh yeah, she just did a super, or it was a great crouching short, or oh man, I wonder what's gonna, it wasn't hype, it wasn't informative. And in my opinion, being blind and talking about commentary, I listen to descriptive audio movies, and I also listen to books too. So when I listen to something, that's how I gauge how something is really good. So like when you look at something, for example, people hate King of Fighters because of its graphics. Like people go, oh my god, those graphics are butt ugly. And that's some people are just so deterred by that, they don't even play the game. Well, it's like me with commentary, and it's like me with listening too. If the audio sucks, generally I'm not going to sit there and listen to it, because that means somebody didn't put effort, somebody didn't try. And these commentators at the King of Fighters at NEC, they were probably new, or if they're probably new at commentary, or maybe they got tired that day. Who knows? I don't know. Those guys, they still did a pretty good job, and they were informative some of the time. It's just I didn't stick around very long to really assess the situation, so it's not really fair for me to be like, these guys suck or these guys this and that. But basically what I'm trying to say is commentary for me is, really important, and I'll direct you to more of like for example, Shin Tristan. When he's on commentary, he's hype, man. That guy's hype. And then Sajam, who's another good commentator, he's very analytical, and everybody obviously knows of the segues he always does, but I mean, he's very analytical. He tells you what's going on in the game. He's like, hey, if you don't know this gimmick or this this ability, this is what he tells you. He's like, oh, Jago has this combo trait. He can go around the world and he can get instinct meter. Like, that's what they explain in the commentary, and they do it for Street Fighter as well. I was just listening to the Wednesday night fights yesterday, and he did the exact same thing. They talk about the game, they analyze. They're like, okay, Knuckle Dude did this, and they bring backstory, and it just makes you more immersed in the actual tournament that's actually going on. People get so deterred by just commentary alone, and a lot of people have a lot of these different opinions. I know I've watched DM Brandon and his opinion on commentary and how Evo commentary was out, but that was off payment or whatever. But commentary isn't easy. Commentary is not easy. No, not just everybody can get up there and just start commentating on a game and commentate about what's going on very easily, because it takes time, it takes practice. You want to articulate, you want to have good speech, you want to be clear, you don't want to be stuttering, you don't want to no, this guy did this, like, what is this guy doing this, who is doing that, is Jago doing that, is who's playing Jago? Like, when you don't say these things, and it's just not for the blind, it's for everybody. When two people are up there, because they can be totally new to the game that you're commentating, and they're watching top 8, you don't know what's going on. So you don't know. It's not many people may not know who Bass is, or who Sleep is, or who Knuckle Do is, or Ricky Ortiz, or any of these people. I feel like it's the commentator's job to really make people understand, okay, my Bass is playing Spinal, and up against, I don't know, Rico Suave playing Fulgor or whatever. People, okay, at least I know the guy Bass is playing Spinal and the dude Rico Suave is playing Fulgor. Cool, got it. I mean, and I know there's like pictures and images and writing on the screen for a lot of the visual stuff, but it's still nice for the commentators to be like, all right, it's going to be a good match. We got Bass's Spinal versus Rico Suave's Fulgor. Let's see how the matchup is going to be. And they explain that. It's just more of a reiteration, like just putting it into your head. You can see what's on the screen for visual people. You can see that, okay, well, you got Bass's name over Spinal's health bar, or Rico Suave's name over Fulgor's health bar. Yeah, that's great for you visual people. But for like somebody like me who's blind, who can't see that, I ain't gonna know who the hell Bass is playing unless the commentators tells me, oh, that's Bass playing Spinal, or that's Bass playing Fulgor, or Bass playing Jago, and Thompson's playing Jago. Especially during a mirror match. The mirror matches are the worst thing to listen to as a blind person, because you don't know what the hell is going on. And this doesn't just go into fighting games either. I mean, you have people that commentate Smite or League of Legends or Dota or Counter-Strike. A lot of these games require good commentary. And I guess what really sparked this idea for me is just the whole King of Fighters at NEC, because I love listening to King of Fighters. I love the combos, the creative combos into supers. Like, those are really cool. Another really good commentator is Eris, from Avoiding Puddle. I've mentioned his name on here a couple times too, and he's a really good commentator, because he's not only is he really energetic and hype and knows what he's talking about, it sounds like he wants to be there. He sounds like he wants to be behind the mic talking about the game, talking smack to whoever, and it's just great. I guess it's just one of those things that, you know, it's a skill trait to learn, and you kind of have to commentating is like a tool to trade. You're not going to really get good at it unless you do it and you keep doing it. And I feel like that's why I believe Twitch is so good, because you can be a streamer, and if you really want to be a commentator, now is that time to practice. You can, you know, commentate over games. You can load up some replays that you've done, or some replays that you've seen from other people, and you can just commentate over that, get some feedback, and be open to constructive criticism. That's one of the things that I feel are really good. I mean, even learning your game, like learning a fighting game, learning a MOBA, learning whatever, you still got to learn how to commentate. You still have to learn how to speak, you know, say what's going on the screen, but also say analytically what's going on for people who are potentially new to the game. I'm not going to say that a lot of people who watch Killer Instinct aren't necessarily new, and obviously Base Sleep, Thompson, or whatever, Rico Suave, they're obviously well known. But you get some of these people who are not well known. You get somebody like, I don't know, I mean, The Chronicle, who's hardly ever on streams, or, you know, people like who aren't the face of KI. You want to know who those people are. You want to know who they play, and you want to kind of gauge for yourself. Or like Gamer TDA, I believe who it was. You know, you want to know who that person is, because you kind of want to be like, all right, well, maybe he's an up-and-comer. And I feel like it's the commentator's job to really inform that person, especially if that person can't see. And I think it makes or breaks something for me. It makes or breaks something for me, and I'm pretty sure Sightless Combat would agree with that. Commentary really is something that you kind of have to, you know, work at. And it's like an art. It's like a skill. So yeah, I guess it's just one of those things. These are all my opinions, guys. It's all subjective. I mean, everybody has their own idea of how commentating should be run. Some people say it should be more analytical. Some people say it should just be a hype stream of, you know, screaming and shouting. But honestly, I think if the commentary the commentary that I like is a little bit of analytic, you know, just tell me what's going on, what's on the screen, what's happening, what did this guy do, did he do what combo did he do a manual, did this person, you know, how good was this combo, stuff like that, you know, like even in a fighting game. I can't commentate. I can't. I mean, even if I wanted to, there'd be no way for me to commentate. Can I be an analyst? Sure, I can analyze stuff after the fact, because then I could take time, turn down the music, go back and listen to things, go back and really kind of analyze a player. But I couldn't be like a commentator, a full-blown commentator like Sajam or Eris or, you know, Tasty Steve or any of those, or Ultra Chen boys. It's just one of those things that I feel that if you really want to be a commentator, I just disagree with, you know, somebody going, hey buddy, hey, come here, you with the brown shirt, come over here and commentate. And they throw somebody on the mic. And I think, honestly, even that just takes away from the game itself. Because even for pool play, I've noticed that a lot, where they just kind of grab somebody nonchalant and they're just kind of like, yo, hey, you want to do commentary? Sure. And they have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea. They don't know how to hype. They don't know what they barely, you know, sometimes they don't even know the game that they're commentating. It's kind of weird how they just kind of grab any Joe Schmo on the that's in the venue that's around. And yeah, and I get it, for top 8 they have better commentators and whatnot, but it's just one of those things. I think commentary is so important, because it's not just, you know, visual people who are watching the streams. I mean, know your audience. It's like what we learned in school, you know what I mean? Like when you go up and do a speech, know your audience, prepare for everything, you know, expect the unexpected, that sort of thing. And I think it's just interesting how commentary has grown and how important it has played in our life, because, you know, of esports has grown, so it gives the ability for these commentators to really, you know, start to shine and, you know, get a job potentially, or even just put themselves on a resume like, hey man, I'm a commentator, and, you know, potentially get paid for this sort of thing. I think it's really cool, and I honestly do think, and it's making games like Killer Instinct or Street Fighter, or games that I can't play, for example, like League or Dota or Counter-Strike or something like that, or any other game that's on Twitch, I find it really cool because I can just sit there and try to understand a game that for otherwise would be almost impossible for me to play. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where I had a thought, and I really do feel like it's very important to me. Commentary is such a big deal nowadays, and I feel like a lot of people want to do commentary. A lot of people want to be a commentator. They want to be on the camera. They want to hear themselves talk, or they want other people to hear. They want other people to hear their voices. And it's just one of those things where I feel like not everybody is cut out for commentary, just like not everybody's made to play shooters, not everybody's made to play fighting game, not everybody's made for commentary. And I mean, I do believe that commentary can be learned. It's just, how much time do you want to put into commentary? How much time do you want to put, train of thought lost, but it's basically what I'm basically trying to say is, how much time do you want to put into learning and developing your commentating skills? And I believe that, when it comes to things like that, professionalism is obviously one of the bigger points, especially when you're commentating for a major as far as a tournament, but also just understanding how to do it. I mean, even with KI, there's a lot of small tournaments. Legendary runs some tournaments. I know I'm part of a local team that runs huge amount of tournaments that run their own streams. And I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more out there, and commentary is lackluster. I feel like people really need to focus on their game, and that's where small time commentators should start out, is running their own stream, running a tournament of their own and trying to learn how to run in and out of the tournament. Have a TO, have somebody organizing, and then just practice your commentary. Practice it live. Go record yourself and listen back. See what you can analyze, because that's what the good commentators do. They come back and they listen to themselves commentating. Okay, I could have said this better, or I could have done this a little bit better. Oh, wow, did I really say that? That was stupid. Stuff like that, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things that I feel like when you're thinking about commentating and you're thinking about it too much, I feel like that's when you're kind of like really tense, really monotone, and you're not really emotional. Your audience isn't invested in what you're trying to say, or isn't invested in the game. And I really felt that way with the top 4 of the King of Fighters at NEC. The commentators sounded like, honestly, I mean, to me, I know they wanted to be there, obviously, but they really sounded like, oh man, hey man, that was cool, like that was a really cool combo, and oh man, this guy gonna get super, oh, is there gonna be a comeback? Like, it wasn't really engaging to me. And commentating for me is everything. Just like visual stuff is everything to a lot of people, like graphics. You're gonna want to play at the best graphics, or you're gonna want to play at smooth FPS or whatnot. I want good commentary. That's just one of the things. That's kind of the trade-off. But yeah, I mean, I guess it was just one of my pet peeves that I kind of was, not really pet peeve, it's just something I thought about over the course of time. I was just like, oh, you know what? Commentary. That's one of the main important things for me to talk about, because it's audio. I mean, somebody's telling me as a blind person what's going on in the game. And it's great and it's entertaining, and you're putting on a show, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those things that you kind of get used to as a blind person. Like I said, I've been listening to a lot of descriptive audio movies. That's how I watch my movies. I listen to I listen to audiobooks. That's how, I get my reading done and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of things are based off audio for me. So, screen reader, JAWS, that's, excuse me, man, my voice is cracking up a storm today. But, that's how I get all my stuff, is audio. I have a voiceover. I have a screen reader, reads me stuff on my screen. So I figured, why not have a blind guy talk about commentary, because it's pretty important. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have anything to say, please, you post it down in the comments. If there's anything else you guys want to hear me talk about, or if there's anything that you kind of want to know about, it's just, let me know in the comments and we'll make a video about it. I don't really see the reason why not to make a video about something if somebody wants to know, or just kind of have me talk about it or stuff like that. I mean, it's just one of those things that I started on my channel recently, just kind of vlogging and speaking my mind about certain things. So again, thank you for the support, guys. I really appreciate it. Love you all. Thanks. I'm loving how the channel's growing. And again, if you have some comments, please, post it down there. Let's have a discussion. I try to read it, listen, screen reader reads all the comments to me, and I try to respond as best I can. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. I love you all, and have a good night. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. See you guys, or check you guys next time. Peace.